Senate. The Senate, by resolution, may appoint a special committee comprising of 11 of its members to investigate the matter. A number of 11 senators have been proposed to sit in the committee. This is pursuant to Section 33, subsection 3B of the County Governments Act and Standing Orders number 80, subsection 1B of the Senate, that have resolved to establish a committee comprising of Senators Wakili Sigei, Senator Abdul Haji, Senator Wahome Wamatinga, Senator David Wafula, Senator Gloria Ruoba, Senator Karen Nyamu, Senator Boy Isa Juma, Senator Eddie Okech, and Senator Shakil Abdallah, Betty Montet, and finally Senator Betty Akinyi, being the 11 senators who have been proposed to sit in the 11-member team. The senators are set to investigate the proposed removal from office of Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza, pursuant to Standing Orders number 80, subsection 2, and to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment whether or not it finds the particulars of the allegations against the governor to have been substantiated. Our dear viewers, the senators this afternoon will be sitting to consider this, and the members of the Senate will either agree to go the committee way, which is to have the 11-member team establish whether the grounds for the impeachment were adhered to, and the other option is to hear the matter in plenary. This is not the first time the governor for Meru County has found herself in the Senate, and it will be interesting to see how the House will consider this matter this afternoon, whether to hear the matter in plenary or to as well pass that the matter be heard by the committee. The county government of Meru, or rather the members of the County Assembly of Meru, impeached the governor for Meru County on a few grounds for removal. Among them is the matters to do with abuse of office, matters gross misconduct, conflict of interest, and abuse of the Constitution, among others. The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Kingi, is currently in the chamber this afternoon. Allow me to hand you over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing and good afternoon.
Na tuombe. Mwenyezi Mungu, twakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka, sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Statute times, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The quorum bell is currently on ring mode at the Senate this afternoon, as per the directives by the Speaker, pursuant to Standing Orders of the House that guide the House on matters quorum. A 10-minute directive has been given to allow senators within the presence of Parliament to make their way into the chamber this afternoon to necessitate the curation of the House to commence business this afternoon. As the Speaker's procession was making its way into the chamber this afternoon, I was just taking you through some of the grounds for the removal from office of a governor or a state officer. And in the impeachment motion by the County Assembly of Meru County, charge number one or count number one is in regards to the gross violation of the Constitution and other laws. In this charge, the MCA states that the governor grossly violated Article 10, subsection 2, Article 27, 41, 47, 232, 235, and 236 of the Constitution, and also went against the Public Officers Ethics Act of 2003 by failing to... The quorum has been achieved. Allow me to hand you over.
We do have quorum now, so we shall proceed with today's business. Clerk, you may proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Senator Falamu, can you host him, please? It's you we're waiting for. Honorable Senators, I wish to welcome you to this special sitting of the Senate. This special sitting has been convened to undertake urgent legislative business which requires to be dispensed with. On the request of the Senate Majority Leader, via letter reference number Senate /MLS/co/010/2024, dated 12th of August 2024, and the support of the requisite number of senators, I appointed today, Wednesday 14th of August 2024, as a day for special sitting of the Senate. The appointment was made via Gazette Notice number 10122, dated the 13th of August 2024. In the Gazette Notice, I indicated that the business to be transacted at this special sitting shall be the hearing of the charges on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. Honorable Senators, in accordance with Standing Order 33.5, the business specified in the Gazette Notice referred to above and as outlined in the order paper shall be the only business before the Senate during the special sitting. At the conclusion of business today, the Senate shall stand adjourned until Tuesday, the 3rd of September 2024 at 2:30 p.m. in accordance with the Senate calendar. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Senator Tobiko, take your seat. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that I have, pursuant to Standing Order 48, 4, and 6, received a message from the Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru regarding the removal from office by way of impeachment of Her Excellency Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. The message was conveyed to the Senate via letter dated Friday, the 9th of August 2024, signed by the Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru and received in my office on the same date, indicating that the County Assembly had passed the resolution to remove the Governor from office, pursuant to Article 181(1)(a), B, and C of the Constitution, as read together with Sections 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 65 of the Standing Orders of the County Assembly of Meru on the following grounds. Honorable Senators, you may walk in and take your seats. Order, Honorable Senators. Now, the grounds for removal are as follows. 1, gross violation of the Constitution and other laws. Senator for Makueni, stick to your seat, please. The particulars of this allegation are that the Governor did the following: violated Articles 10, 10(2), 27, 41, 47, 73, 232, 235, 236, and 251 of the Constitution by illegally revoking the appointment of CPA Virginia Kawira Miriti as Secretary/CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board without the requisite vote from the County Assembly, thus usurping the powers of the Assembly. 2, breached Sections 10, 15, 19, and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act 2003, Sections 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 1B, and F, 21, 29, and 52 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and Section 4 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act by failing to appoint the chairpersons of key county boards and allowing unauthorized persons to oversee public funds without proper accountability. 3, refused to implement the recommendations and resolution of the County Assembly on the dismissal of the County Secretary, Dr. Kiambi Atheru Tambura, and the Chief of Staff, Mr. Harrison Gatobu Nchama Mbithi, for gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, and failed to submit a report to the County Assembly on the implementation of the said resolutions of the Assembly in direct violation of Article 183, 3 of the Constitution. And 4, illegally dismissed Dr. Nitoeti, CEO of the County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimanthi Mbaye, Managing Director of Meru Microfinance Corporation, and Joseph Kithure Mberia, CEO of MEWAS, contrary to the provisions of the Meru County Revenue Board Act and the Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Act, thereby leading to significant financial penalties by the Employment and Labor Relations Court against the county government on account of legal costs and damages. 2, gross misconduct. The particulars of this allegation are that the Governor, 1, misled the public by falsely claiming that 86 million was raised through a paybill number after the murder of Daniel Mutiani, alias Sniper, while the actual amount raised was Kenya shillings 286,516, in violation of the Public Officer Ethics Act and the Leadership and Integrity Act. 3, abuse of office. The particulars of this allegation are that the Governor, 1, authorized irregular payments of emergency call allowances to 161 doctors and medical officers using the wrong rates, resulting in an overpayment of Kenya shillings 74,340,000, contrary to the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act and other relevant laws. 2, use the manual payroll to pay personal emoluments amounting to Kenya shillings 102 million and 94 shillings, contrary to established financial regulations in Section 6.7.6 of the County Financial Accounting and Reporting Manual. 3, employed a bloated workforce of at least 111 personnel in the office of the governor, increasing the county wage bill beyond the legal limit in violation of the Public Finance Management County Government's Regulations 2015. And 4, continue to pay full salaries and benefits to a public communication officer accused of murder in violation of the Public Service Commission Discipline Manual for Public Service. Honorable Senators, annexed to the letter conveying the decision of the County Assembly were the following documents. 1, copy of approved notice of motion, the motion, dated 31st of July 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on Wednesday, 31st of July 2024, afternoon sitting. 2, copy of exhibits laid on the table of the Assembly on Wednesday, 31st July 2024, afternoon sitting. Order papers for the Assembly sittings of Wednesday, 31st July 2024, afternoon sitting, Tuesday, 6th August 2024, afternoon sitting, and Thursday, 8th August 2024, morning sitting. Certified Hansard reports for the Assembly, Assembly sittings of Wednesday, 31st of July 2024, afternoon sitting, Tuesday, 6th of August 2024, afternoon sitting, and Thursday, 8th August 2024, morning sitting. Copy of a letter dated the 31st of July 2024, reference number MCA, GC, volume 1, 24, inviting the Governor of Meru County to respond to the tabled impeachment motion. Affidavits of service. Copy of affidavit of service by Mr. Benson Kinyongure, serving Her Excellency the Governor of Meru County with an invitation letter and a copy of the laid notice of impeachment motion on behalf of the Speaker, County Assembly of Meru. Copy of affidavit of service by Mr. Joel Maitehia Murukunga, serving Her Excellency the Governor, Meru County, with a copy of a laid notice of impeachment motion on behalf of Honorable Zipporah Kenya, and C, copy of a letter dated the 6th of August 2024, reference number MCA/GC/ volume 26, forwarding to Her Excellency the Governor a copy of the laid report on the public participation on the notice of motion. Certified copy of a form for verification of signatures for members in support of the motion for removal of the Meru County Governor by impeachment, dated the 8th of August 2024, made pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 65-4. Certified copy of the roll call vote on the motion for impeachment of Her Excellency Governor Meru County, held during the Assembly sitting of Thursday, 8th of August 2024. Documents table during the debate on the motion for removal of the Governor Meru County by impeachment. Appointment letter for 1, Matiri Kenneth Mutua, dated 13th of February 2023, reference number CGM/CBSP/Apt/Volume 3/2023 into brackets 2022. A copy of a letter dated the 6th of August 2024, reference number CAM/GN/Volume 7/40. C, copy of a letter dated 31st of July 2024, reference number CGM/CS/CA023/26, Volume 1.3 into brackets 390. D, copy of a letter dated the 7th of July 2024, reference number CAM/GEN/Volume 7/39. A, copy of a letter dated 15th of July 2024, reference number CGM/CS/CA, Volume 3/023/382. F, copy of a letter dated the 31st of August 2023, reference number CAM/GEN/Volume 6/187. G, copy of a letter dated the 31st of August 2023, reference number CAM/GEN/Volume 6/188. H, copy of a letter dated the 20th of July 2023, reference number CAM/GEM, volume 6/168. And lastly, a copy of a letter dated the 18th of June 2023, reference number CGM/CS/CA/volume 1/023/17. Evidence of public participation. A, JHUA Technology Flash Disk 32 GB containing video and extras of evidence in the particulars alleged in the motion, as well as video voice adverts on the public participation on the motion run on various radio and TV stations. B, pictures and videos of various public participation. 4 are held on Monday, 5th of August 2024, contained in the accompanying flash disk. C, copy of public participation report dated the 6th of August 2024 and laid on the table on Tuesday, 6th of August 2024, that is the afternoon sitting. D, written/printed memorandum from different wards and regions submitted to the County Assembly during the public participation exercise on the motion submitted both in support and against the motion. The memoranda inclusive of submissions received via email, minutes, attendance, registration sheets, and registration forms for memorandum of the public participation held on Tuesday, 19th of December, 2022. Soft copy of the 3rd edition, standing orders of the County Assembly of Meru contained in an accompanying flash disk. Honorable Senators, in terms of the way forward, following the reading of the charges against the Governor, Standing Order 81B of the Senate, standing orders, as read together with Section 33(3)B of the County Governments Act, give the Senate 2 options on how to proceed with this matter. The Senate may, A, by resolution, appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter, or B, investigate the matter in plenary. The Senate Majority Leader will, at an appointed time during this sitting, give a notice of motion for the establishment of a special committee. Should this motion be carried, the special committee will be required under Section 33(4) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 82 of the Senate to investigate the matter and to report to the Senate on whether it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. In the event that the motion of the establishment of the special committee does not pass, the fallback position is that the Senate shall proceed to investigate and consider the matter in plenary. In this event, I will appoint the dates on which Senate will sit in plenary to hear and determine the charges against the Governor. Honorable Senators, it is noteworthy that I wish to emphasize to all honorable Senators that when we come to the debate on the motion for the establishment of the special committee, debate on the motion shall be limited to the substance of the motion, principally whether or not to establish a special committee. It will not be a debate on the substance of the impeachment or its merits, propriety, prudence, or even the constitutionality or the legality of the processes that have preceded the submission of this matter to the Senate. It is therefore not permissible to deviate to any issues other than motion before the Senate. In the meantime, and during the pendency of the impeachment process in the Senate, I wish to caution honorable Senators to desist from publicly commenting on the merits or demerits of the impeachment motion before the Senate. Doing so will amount to anticipation of debate, which is an infringement of Standing Order 99. Therefore, it shall be out of order within the meaning of Standing Order 122 for any senator to make comments, whether written or spoken, in any relation to the conduct of the Governor or the impeachment process, which it's outside the confines of the impeachment proceedings, as such comments may prejudice the just outcome of the process. Honorable Senators, this is the 5th impeachment hearing in the 13th Parliament, and the 3rd one involving the Governor in question. In undertaking this mandate, the Senate will be sitting as a quasi-judicial body, and will conduct investigations into the alleged infractions of the Constitution and the law, and thereafter make its determination on the matter. As such, this is a reminder that the impeachment hearing is not just a procedural formality, but a fundamental process that plays a crucial role in upholding the principles of democracy and good governance. This hearing is one of the most crucial oversight tools and singular rules of the Senate. Honorable Senators, obviously, this matter is one of immense public interest. I wish to emphatically reaffirm that the Senate will deliberate and reach a decision on this case purely based on its merits. The Senate will uphold the integrity of this process by ensuring objectivity and will not be influenced by external pressures or undue influence from parties outside this chamber. I conclude by urging all honorable senators to exercise the highest level of responsibility on this particular matter. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Senate Majority Leader. Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to give notice of the following motion, being the establishment of a select committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. That whereas, pursuant to Standing Order number 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, 8th August 2024, the Meru County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Kawira Mwangaza.
May the Senator for Kakamega be heard in silence, please.
The Governor of Meru, and further, whereas by a letter reference MC/RES/ volume 4/79, dated 9th of August 2024, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Friday, 9th August 2024, the Speaker of Meru County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the removal of the motion by County Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate the documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas, pursuant to Standing Order number 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order number 81(b) of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order number 81(b) of the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising the following senators. 1.
Senator Methu, take your seat. Honorable Senators, if you have anything to share with your colleagues, pull them out, but let the chamber be in total silence. This is a very important and weighty matter we are discussing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Comprising of the following senators. 1. Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP. 2. Senator Abdul Haji, MP. Senator Wahome Wamatinga, MP. Senator David Wafula, MP. Senator Gloria Orwoba, MP. Senator Karen Nyamu, MP. Senator Boy Isa Juma, MP. Senator Eddie Kishuru Okech, MP. Senator Shakila Abdallah, MP, Senator Bet Mondet, MP, and Senator Beatrice Akinyi, MP, to investigate the proposed removal from office of the Governor of Meru and pursuant to Standing Order number 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements. Order number 8, motion, establishment of a select committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawera Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to move the motion on the establishment of a select committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Honorable Kawera Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. That whereas, pursuant to Article number 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, the 8th August 2024, the Meru County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Kawera Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru, and further whereas by letter referenced MCA/RES/Volume 4/79, dated 9th of August 2024, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Friday, the 9th August 2024, the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by County Assembly and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order number 81(b) of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order number 81(b), the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising the following senators. 1. Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP, Senator Abdul Haji, MP, Senator Wahome Wamatinga, MP, Senator David Wafula Wakoli, MP, Senator Gloria Oruoba, MP, Senator Karen Nyamu, MP, Senator Boy Juma, MP, Senator Eddie Okech, MP, Senator Shakila Abdallah, MP, Senator Betty Mondet, MP, and Senator Beatrice Akinyi, MP, to investigate the proposed removal from office of the Governor of Meru County and pursuant to Standing Order number 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not it finds the particulars of these allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. Mr. Speaker, as you pointed out clearly when you are reading out these charges, this is the 5th time that the Senate is being called upon to discharge this oversight responsibility. And because members are already familiar, and this is purely a procedural motion, Mr. Speaker, I do not want to belabor it, but I want to ask colleagues to reflect on this motion, whether we shall be doing the very best of what is expected of us if you allow a special committee to inform us or whether we should go the plenary way. Whichever way you decide, the office of the leader of the majority, and indeed, in consultations with the office of the leader of the minority, we will oblige. We have no preferred position. Mr. Speaker, I would like colleagues to view the list of the names of these senators here not as an attempt for us to twist them to go the committee way, but a legal requirement, a procedural requirement that we had to uphold. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I wish to request the leader of the minority, the Honorable retired Justice Madayo, the Senator of Kilifi, to come and second my motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kwa jina naitwa Stewart Mazayo. Sio kama alivyosema ndugu yangu. Amesema Mathayo, lakini ni sawa kwa sababu ile D na Z ameweka T na H. Kwa hiyo kwa matamshi ni sawa kabisa, lakini kwa jina lenyewe nafikiria hapo amekwenda yombo kidogo. Bwana Spika, kitu cha kwanza nataka kuunga mkono kwamba tuende kwa njia ile ya kamati.
Order, honorable senators. May the minority leader behind his silence, please. Order, Senator Fonandi.
Tuende kwa njia ya kamati, kwa sababu kamati ama ile njia ya plenary, yani bunge lote lihusishwe. Uamuzi huo Bwana Spika ni uamuzi ambao utafanywa na maseneta, kwa sababu kila seneta hapa ana usemi wake. Bwana Spika, tukijua kuna tetesi tofauti tofauti, lakini sote tukiwa kama maseneta ni lazima tuweze kuamua kama tunataka kwenda kwa ile njia ya kamati ama tunataka kwenda njia ya seneti nzima, watu wote maseneta waweze kuchangia katika hii petition iliyoko mbele yetu. Bwana Spika, najua kwamba bunge la Senate ni bunge linajulikana kwamba liko na maseneta ambao ni majabali, maseneta ambao wanaweza kukaa wakasikiza kesi na wakakata kisawasawa. Bwana Spika, sintofahamu ni kwamba saa nyingine kunatokea cheche za maneno kutoka nje na kunakuwa na lawama tofauti tofauti kulinganishana na maseneta wetu, lakini hizo huwa ni cheche tu, na tunaelewa kwamba cheche zingine ni kama maji ya moto, haziwezi kuchoma nyumba. Kwa hiyo hawezi kutuambia maneno ya kuweza kutufanya sisi tukose mwelekeo na pengine tusikate kesi kulinganishana na vile stakabadhi zilizowekwa hapa mbele na tutakazojadiliana nazo na kuona kwamba hatua iliyochukuliwa ni ile hatua ambayo kila Mkenya ataona kwamba haki imefanywa na wabunge wa Senate. Kwa hiyo Bwana Spika, kitu nataka kusema ni kwamba njia ile ambayo itachukuliwa ni njia ile ambayo sisi sote tutafuatilia, na sote tuko hapa tutajadiliana na tutaona ni njia ipi inafaa kuelekea. Lakini kwa hii sasa, hii motion ambayo iko hapa, mimi naiunga mkono nikisema kwamba ni sawa kabisa. Asante Bwana Spika.
Honorable Senators, I will now propose the question. That whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, the 8th of August 2024, the Meru County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. And further, whereas by a letter reference MCA/RAS/Volume 4/79, dated the 9th of August 2024, and received in my office on Friday, 9th of August 2024, the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by the County Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81(b) of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81(b), the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising the following senators. 1, Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP. 2, Senator Abdul Haji, MP. 3, Senator Wahome Wamatinga, MP. 4, Senator David Wafula, MP. 5, Senator Gloria Oroba, MP. 6, Senator Karen Nyamu, MP. 7, Senator Boy Issa Juma, MP. 8, Senator Eddie Okech, MP. 9, Senator Shakila Abdallah, MP. 10, Senator Beth Monteti, MP. And 11, Senator Beatrice Akinyi, MP. This to investigate the proposed removal from office of the Governor of Meru County, and pursuant to Standing Order 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not it finds the particulars of our allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. The floor is now open for honorable members to investigate. What is your point of order, Senator Wambua?
Senator of Nandi, the Speaker, is also making a funny.
What is your point of order, Senator Wambua?
The Speaker, I stand on the strength of a Standing Order 111, reading the mood of the House. The senators have already almost made up their minds on what they want to do on this motion. That we limit debate, the Speaker, on this matter. I'm not saying that you put the question. I'm on the floor. I'm not saying that you put the question. I'm saying, the Speaker, I propose that we limit debate to maybe 3-5 minutes, so that members can just take a vote on this. But that's procedure motion, the Speaker. Yes.
Order, honorable senators. There is a motion that has been proposed. We need to discharge of it. And the motion is a motion to limit debate. Ordinarily, honorable senators, each of you has 20 minutes to contribute. We may limit the 20 minutes to 3 minutes so that as many of you can be able to take to the floor. Do I have your concurrence on this? We shall now proceed with the debate, with each senator speaking for not more than 3 minutes. If we can do 1 minute, the better. Senator Manzo Daniel. Senator Manzo Daniel. Order, Senator Fonandi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
If you have nothing to say, your colleagues have something to say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I raised to state that I had an opportunity to participate in a select committee, and also I had an opportunity to watch debate go on the floor of the House. And Mr. Speaker, in my assessment as a legislator who has been in the House for quite a number of years, Mr. Speaker, I go on to say that there's nothing wrong with the names which have been proposed. They are, in fact, very well balanced opinions from the country. But, Mr. Speaker, bearing to the two experiences I think, Mr. Speaker, it is better to have the plenary deal with this matter, bearing in mind, Mr. Speaker, that we've had the Governor Kawira here 3 times, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I really don't want to take a lot of time here. I think for interest of justice and for fairness and for the country to follow the proceedings clearly and in open manner, so that when a final decision is made, Mr. Speaker, even the person, whether for or against, everyone finds that the Senate have done justice. Mr. Speaker, the Senate stands for devolution. We want the county of Meru to succeed. And Mr. Speaker, I propose that we go the plenary way and say that, Mr. Speaker, we are looking for justice for Meru, so that they could have expediency and that the county of Meru may succeed in its endeavors. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kinyua.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, mimi naunga mkono seneti yote ijumuishwe katika kuichanganua yale mambo yatakayoletwa katika seneti, Bwana Spika. Kwa sababu Bwana Spika, ni posa wa Kenya waweze kuona mambo yamewekwa pariwanja, yaweze kuangaziwa vizuri kama vile tulivyofanya katika impeachment zile zingine, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, mimi naunga mkono seneti nzima ijumuishwe, Bwana Spika. Na Bwana Spika, kwa sababu
Order, honorable senators. Proceed, Senator Kinyua.
Okay, asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kwangu mimi, kwa sababu nimekuwa katika seneti hii, ni vizuri wakati inafanywa katika ikijumuisha maseneta wote, kwa sababu ikipelekwa katika kamati maoni yale watakayoona, Bwana Spika, hailetwi hapa katika bunge, wale watu watakaokuwa tumechagua, Bwana Spika, na sina shida yoyote na wale maseneta waliochaguliwa. Ni watu ambao najua wana ujuzi na uzoefu, wanaweza wakaangazia yale mambo, lakini ikifanywa katika seneti maneno yote yawekwe pariwanja, watu waweze kuona, Bwana Spika, itakuwa ni vizuri zaidi. Nashukuru Bwana Spika, na asema asante.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to oppose this motion as presented by the Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, apart from the mood of the House, there's a lot of sensationalization on this matter of impeachment, with severe allegations being thrown by both parties. And I think if we reduce this to a committee, others might end up arguing that it's a clandestine move to be able to either save or impeach the governor. So in my view, I think it is best if we carry out plenary so that we can sit here. Those who would be patient enough to sit here will listen to the allegations either being substantiated or not being substantiated. And the entire country and the world will be able to observe. Mr. Speaker, I think it is imperative. And Mr. Speaker, this is a time when we take some matters very seriously. Personally, I have received almost 300 shillings in 1 shilling, 1 shilling, 1 shilling, being greeted by people of Meru. And my job, when I sit here to deal with issues of impeachment, I deal on matters that are brought before myself. It is important for us to realize that the County Assembly is the one that impeaches the governor. The Senate sits as a jury. So that misconception out there that the Senate is the one that impeaches the governor should actually be corrected. So, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I oppose the motion and I vote for this motion to go on plenary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the idea that the plenary should sit on this matter, Mr. Speaker, to decide on behalf of Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, this motion is so crucial. It is so crucial that we cannot afford to let it go to a committee. And Mr. Speaker, I am speaking this because there was a similar motion brought in the National Assembly to impeach a cabinet secretary. And the mood of the House in the National Assembly at that time was that the cabinet secretary must go. Then a select committee was chosen. And Mr. Speaker, they came back and said the minister should stay, against the majority of the people sitting in the House. So, Mr. Speaker, let us not go that way. Let us agree on one issue, that it is too important for us to leave it to a committee. Let us go the plenary way, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to emphasize one thing. It is the county assembly that impeaches, and it is the Senate that convicts or acquits. We sit here as a court. In fact, in the US, Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice, when it is the impeachment of the President, it is the Chief Justice who sits on your place to do the actual trial of the impeachment. And Mr. Speaker, the experience that we take from that side, in fact, Mr. Speaker, we cannot, in fact, if you look, we cannot leave this to a committee. Mr. Speaker, let us not have too much debate. Let us agree the matter is too important for us to leave it to a committee. Mr. Speaker, I support that we should go the plenary way. I thank you.
Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, I happen to be a member of the SBC, and there's always been debate when we come to this particular juncture on which of the two methods is superior. I think I have held the position that, in my view, the committee way is a far superior way of interrogating these issues than the plenary manner. And I have 4 reasons that I wanted to advance here in support of this thinking. First of all, Mr. Speaker, the Senate is on recess, and I know that people had committed to do other things. It is not fair to drag the entire Senate to sit here just to listen to these allegations. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, many of the people who are shouting plenary here, we have been with them through these processes before. You will be sitting there, and there will be 3 people in this chamber. Many of them do not even sit through those proceedings, as much as they want to make noise this particular moment and say they want plenary. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, we saw some...
Senator Sifuna, your colleagues certainly cannot be said to be making noise.
You can hear them shouting, Honorable Speaker. What do you mean?
I am referring to their contribution. It cannot be termed as noise.
Let me proceed, Honorable Speaker. I want to address the question of interrogation and the cross-examination of witnesses. This frustration is a frustration that members shared last time when we went the plenary way. And because I have experienced both of those methods, it is my humble view that it is easier, it is better, there is greater opportunity to cross-examine witnesses and to ask questions, supplementary questions, when you go the committee way. Lastly, there was a question that was raised here, Honorable Speaker, on the involvement of our nominated colleagues in decision-making when it comes to this particular issue. And in my view, it is something that you can also give your view. The nominated senators get a greater opportunity to make decision or participate in the decision-making when they are members of a committee as opposed to plenary. Because at plenary, they all know only the elected senators will get to vote. Finally, Honorable Speaker, when I look at the colleagues who have been nominated to this particular committee, the Honorable Sigei, who's the chair of the Legal Affairs Committee, my chair of Energy, Honorable Matinga, Abdul Haji, who's a member of the Speaker's panel, and Wafula, our colleague, Gloria Orwoba, and of course the senators from our side, Honorable Shakila, Honorable Montet, Eddie, Issa, and Honorable Senator Beatrice Ogola. I have all the faith, Honorable Speaker, that this team of 11 can be able to execute this particular assignment on behalf of the House. I want to lastly join my colleague Senator Olekina in saying there is no other influence other than the evidence and the allegations that is going to bear on the decision of this House when we sit to determine this matter. So people should stop sending us messages. Honorable Speaker, I don't understand why people are sending us messages from Meru, from all sides, telling us, oh, this is so and so, this is so and so.
Senator Mundigi. Order, Honorable Senator.
Asante, Bwana Spika. Katika Kenya kuna county inaitwa Meru County na iko na wapiga kura 800,000 Bwana Spika, leo sio siku ya kwanza ya kuongea mambo ya Meru. Leo ni siku ya 3. Nashangaa sana nikisikia watu wakisema twende watu 11. Kenya yote katika kaunti ya 47 inaangalia vile tutaamua hii kesi ya Meru. Kwa sababu ya kipindi ya miaka 2 watu wa Meru wamehangaika, wameumia. Sio safari ya kwanza Gavana Kawira kuletwa hapa, hii ni mara ya 3. Tulisema wakati wa pili tulimpatia onyo, tukamwambia aende angalie katika Biblia 1:18, njoo tusemesane, waende waongee na makanisa, waongee na MP na MCA, waweze kusemesana, waweze kuona vile watasaidia kaunti ya Meru. Sasa ni safari ya 3. Ningeomba mimi kama Senator wa Embu County naunga mkono tuweze kwenda kusikiza Kawira tukiwa maseneta 67, kwa sababu ni watu tuko na ujuzi wa kuamua aidha Kawira amefanya makosa mara ya 3 ama hajafanya. Kwa sababu sioni vile our MCA kila dakika usiku na mchana wanaweza kuwa wanakelea Kawira, mpaka tuangalie vile itakuwa. Kama amefanya makosa atimuliwe na seneta 67. Kama hajafanya makosa arudishwe.
Honorable senators, order. Senator Mundigi. Now, senators, honorable senators, in my message that I read to you, and I want to believe that Senator Mundigi was in the house when I was passing that message, our contribution should be limited on whether or not we should go the committee way. Leave Meru out of this debate for now. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what the excitement is about. Mr. Speaker, I stand to oppose the motion on the appointment of a select committee to handle the impeachment of the governor of Meru. Mr. Speaker, for a good reason. You know, the Senate does not exist in a vacuum. We live in a society, and we have ears, we listen. We hear what people are saying, we see what is happening. Mr. Speaker, the matter of the impeachment of the governor of Meru has attracted immense interest beyond Meru, beyond the eastern region. It would be better, Mr. Speaker, that everybody gets to see the proceedings on the floor of the Senate. And as this happens, Mr. Speaker, I want to borrow from the case of O.J. Simpson. And the jury said, if the gloves fit, if they do not fit, you acquit. If the gloves fit, you convict. The Speaker, guided by the evidence and facts that shall be brought here on the plenary, that decision will be made. I vote for the plenary.
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to stand to oppose this motion. Honorable Speaker, we've had over 10 impeachments for the last 10 years. And out of those, Senator Kawira is coming here for the 3rd time. The first time, it went committee way, and it was chaired by His Excellency, the future governor, and now Senator Boni Khalwale. The second one went plenary way, and this one also should go the plenary way, simply because the Kenyans are looking at the Senate now, and we want to participate fully. And I want to take this opportunity to completely disagree with Senator, Nairobi Senator Nairobi Senator referred to this house as mostly empty. You can find only 3 people. I think if the 3 people are found here, Senator Nairobi wouldn't be here because he's always also absentee. Let him not pretend to be being here. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the plenary way. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I oppose the motion simply because I believe, having been around for some time now, I have experience of both committee and plenary way. If I may give a very good example of a committee that actually brought down a senator in this country, when we went committee way, it was during the impeachment of former Nyeri governor. I sat in that committee. We went very well up to the end. The last minute, we were actually 2 members who were left supporting the impeachment. And when it came to the House, the senator was really devastated. And he ended up even losing his seat because it really touched him. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, this Meru matter is very serious. It's not a matter of people saying plenary or committee way. It's a matter that is affecting seriously Meru people. And we must look at it critically, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe if we go plenary way, Meru County will be able to see what is happening at the impeachment of their governor. But if it goes committee way, sometimes they might not even watch to see what transpires at the committee level. Mr. Speaker, having been around for some time, participated in both plenary and committee, I fully support plenary. I thank you.
Senator Newton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I join my colleagues that feel we should go the plenary way because, Mr. Speaker, we have been able to prosecute impeachment matters here at least twice in plenary, Mr. Speaker. The last time Governor Kawira was brought here, we went the plenary way and we were able to make a decision to retain her as governor of Meru County. Mr. Speaker, later on, impeachment proceedings of the former deputy governor for Kisii were brought here and the plenary was able to impeach that deputy governor, Mr. Speaker. What am I driving at? I'm just trying to say, Mr. Speaker, that this House has been able to prove itself that it can impeach and it can also stop an impeachment depending on the evidence that is tabled before this House, Mr. Speaker. And so the competency or otherwise of the plenary, Mr. Speaker, has already been proven. Mr. Speaker, the other reason that makes me feel that I need to support plenary proceedings on this matter is the fact that it also accords or affords senators, all senators, an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to kind of have some training on how to carry out these impeachment proceedings, Mr. Speaker. And some of the evidence that will be tabled here by the County Assembly of Meru, Mr. Speaker, would also maybe has a bearing on what happens in our counties also. And so, Mr. Speaker, this will be an eye-opener to all senators so that they can be able to see what transpires in counties, the things that happens in counties, good or otherwise, Mr. Speaker. And so I think and I strongly feel that we should give every senator an opportunity to be able to participate in these proceedings so that they can get training and they can be able to see whether there is a bearing on what will be brought here and what happens to our counties, Mr. Speaker. And so I stand here to propose, not to propose, Mr. Speaker, but to support the idea of having plenary. By that, Mr. Speaker, I oppose the motion on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Vihiga and Deputy Party Leader.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing my new role as the Deputy Party Leader of the Orange Democratic Movement. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak as a Senator of Vihiga and not the DPL of ODM. Mr. Speaker, the motion is for us to either agree to a plenary or a committee. Whereas, Mr. Speaker, I fully agree with the members who are saying we go the plenary way, but there is a small problem, Mr. Speaker, that we know very well the outcome of a committee is usually a report. And that report, Mr. Speaker, having seen some of the reports that have come out of committees, they go beyond just the question of impeachment or not impeachment. The situation of Meru, Mr. Speaker, is a very complex one that requires serious thinking, because we don't want to make a decision and then again next time we are also told to also deal with the same issue of Meru. My view would be, Mr. Speaker, that there may be instances where we need to look at the provisions of Article 192 of the Constitution, whether to suspend this county and we send everyone home or not. And that can be dealt effectively in a committee, in a report, which can now be sent to the President for action as per the provisions of Article 192. Our standing orders are limited because they don't allow us to produce a report, which can now be sent to the President for action. So I want to urge members, I know that the plenary way is the most popular one, but the most effective one in these circumstances is the committee way. So I want to ask you, members, that we agree to support the committee way, because it is going to help us deal with this problem of Meru once and for all. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Murango.
Asante sana mstahiki Spika. Ya kwanza ningetaka kusema ya kwamba moja ya jukumu ambalo bunge la Seneti huwa imepewa na ni jukumu ambalo halijapewa bunge la kitaifa ni kuangalia malalamiko baada ya gavana kung'atuliwa. Na kwanza ndio maana nasimama hapa siku ya leo na nataka kupinga mswada uliowasilishwa leo hii ya kwamba tuende njia ya kamati, na ningesema kwamba tuende bunge nzima la county liweze kukaa kitako na kuvalia njuga jambo hili. Mstahiki Speaker, ningetaka pia kupingana na msemo ambao umesemwa na Senator Vihiga ya kwamba kuna mambo tunafaa kuangalia.
Senator Olekina Nosoti, take your seats, please.
Mstahiki Speaker, pia ningependa pia kutoa kauli kulingana na mapendekezo za Senator Vihiga Otsosi kwamba tunafaa kuangalia kama tunaweza vunja kaunti nzima. Ningetaka kumwambia kwamba panya akiingia kwa gala, uchomi gala unatoa panya. Kwa hivyo, Mstahiki Speaker, mimi naunga mkono tuvalie njuga swala hili mpaka mwisho. Asante sana Mstahiki Speaker.
Senator Ogola Beatrice. Senator Akinyi. Senator Beth Siengwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to oppose the motion for the following reasons. Mr. Speaker, in this House we are 67 of us, and we are unique, and each of us process information differently. We need the matter to be brought to the plenary so that each of us will process the information, the evidence provided, and will make a very good decision about Meru County. Mr. Speaker, it has been 5 times the governor of Meru has been impeached. We must bring this issue to an end because Meru needs to have services. Meru needs to move forward like the rest of the counties. The second reason, Mr. Speaker, I really want to appreciate the committee members who have been appointed, and it is good. And they are good senators. But, Mr. Speaker, Meru people and the entire country has interest on this issue. What is it so special about Meru? And everybody wants to hear, to see, and know what has been ailing Meru County. The third reason, Mr. Speaker, is I oppose the motion and support the plenary way, is because as a leader of women in this nation, Mr. Speaker, the women, the children, they are interested in this issue of Meru. And they want to see whether it is this specific governor for Meru who is failing, or it is then issues that can be addressed by other women who are giving themselves for leadership in this nation. For that reason, Mr. Speaker, I oppose the motion and hold and support my colleagues who have said we go the plenary way. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sigei. Senator Wakili.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to oppose the motion to establish a committee. Mr. Speaker, I am aware that I stand a chance to chair this committee of impeachment. However, the interest of the people of Meru and the interest of the entire House is paramount. I therefore, Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the fact that the honorable members who have been nominated to that particular committee are great leaders, great senators, they can give us the best decision that we can ever have, I still believe that the best to serve the people of Meru in this particular motion is to have this matter dealt with by the plenary. And I know that the honorable senator from Narok, because Mr. Speaker, I sit in the SBC, he's raised concerns regarding a bit of trolling that has already occurred. The only and the best way to serve that particular concern is to ensure that the whole House deals with this matter. And Mr. Speaker, I therefore oppose the motion. Thank you.
Senator Muma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute. I rise to oppose the motion. Mr. Speaker, I think this matter should be heard in plenary for the reason that it is more serious than we even think it is. It is a precedent-setting matter because Governor Kawira is being brought. It's actually the 5th time, but the 3rd time in the House. It is important, particularly during this time in the country, that we operate very transparently, we discuss the issues very transparently, that every senator is given an opportunity to contribute to the allegations from an informed point of view. Mr. Speaker, I suggest that every senator prepare properly and read as you have guided. Let us be guided by the Constitution and the law. Let us ensure that we deliver justice in this matter to whichever of the groups that are coming. Mr. Speaker, as we do so, I would want to request that you pay attention to something Senator Sifuna has raised. Senator Sifuna raises the fact that the plenary may inhibit the participation of everybody. I want to make a request that as we discuss, that we pay attention to the fact that nominated members are also capable of contributing to this debate, even if they are not going to vote. So I would suggest that we manage the time in such a way that even nominated senators are given ample time to contribute to this debate. So I suggest that the last time we did, a few of us really tried to put our hands, but were not able to contribute. I know it may have been because of time, but I'm just putting that out there, that we consider that the House is made of 67. I therefore support the plenary, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also rise to join my colleagues in opposing this particular motion. Honorable Speaker, if you remember the last two impeachment motions that we had, the one for Kawira and the one for the Deputy Governor for Kisii, they were done in the plenary. And Honorable Speaker, the members, senators were able to follow the substantiation of the allocations, Honorable Speaker, and we made our own decisions in the two impeachments, Honorable Speaker. I have also experience, Honorable Speaker, of the committee way. We did for the Deputy Governor for Shire, and I want to confess, Honorable Speaker, that we deliver more justice when we do it in the plenary, because most of all the senators would be able to follow each allocation, Honorable Speaker, and give very informed decision. Honorable Speaker, this is a very difficult time for the Meru people, and I believe they want to follow keenly how the two parties will substantiate or will defend themselves, Honorable Speaker, on the allocation, so that us as senators we make decisions. I believe there must be also another way, Honorable Speaker, that members or anybody can go and petition, so that if they are dissatisfied with what we will have done as senators, the county could be dissolved, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I oppose and I support the plenary way, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this motion, which I oppose. Mr. Speaker, this is a very sensitive and delicate matter where the governor has been brought here 3 times. And Mr. Speaker, the reason why I oppose committee way is because all Kenyans will be following what will be happening in this house. And so it is very important for it to be in plenary so that everyone can follow, even the Meru people can follow clearly what will be spoken here by all the lawyers and from the governor and from the county, and also how the senators will interrogate the matter. Mr. Speaker, I oppose and I say this should be the plenary way. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wamatinga. Senator Sifuna, what is your point of order?
Honorable Chair, I didn't want to shout over my colleague from Machakos, but I thought she was misleading the public by creating the impression that somehow, if a matter is dealt with in committee, the public cannot follow. In fact, it is a requirement of the Constitution that Parliament and all its committees, in their proceedings, allow the public to be able to follow. And in fact, even impeachments that have been done by committee, there was still live coverage of those proceedings and they were open to the public. So I thought, Honorable Speaker, that that was a misleading statement.
Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also rise to oppose the motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, I know that I appear in the list, but in the new spirit of a broad-based engagement, or the new spirit of the broad-based and inclusive approach, I think that it would be paramount, it would be very important that we include everybody so that the Kenyans' thinking captures the mood in the country, and the mood in the country, Mr. Speaker, is a broad-based approach of everything that includes everybody, brings everybody on board, so that we can also enlist ourselves and the engagement and the debate and the engagement with the county government and the governor with the diversity of the members who sit in this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, committee way is also a very, very effective way. But there is this narrative now, based on the new mood, that larger and bigger is better. And that's why you see, Mr. Speaker, we have decided also to include the members of the other side into the government, so that we can be seen to not only be accommodative, but to capture the spirit of the Gen Zs, which includes tribalists and headdress, and most importantly, where everybody is included. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, what we are discussing here is provided for under the standing orders of this House, procedure for removal of a governor, that is standing order number 80. And Mr. Speaker, when you read that standing order, it does clarify two scenarios for which an outcome of conversation with the committee would come. And that is under 84. It says that when a committee decision or outcome comes as a governor stands impeached, then the matter shall rest there. But when otherwise, the governor, when the committee decides that there was no substantiation for the governor to be impeached, the matter rests at that. But if otherwise the governor is impeached, the House then gets a chance to further interrogate each of those charges for which the impeachment was executed. Now, I want to call this House to either think about ourselves as senators or think about the people of Meru as the people of Meru. And I'm not talking about this because I have been suggested to be in the committee. I'm talking about this because the people of Meru, if we are not careful, will go through 5 years of never getting the service for which the counties was intended. We must call ourselves to order, and we must call ourselves as senators to ask ourselves, do we want to be involved in this process, or do we want to be engaged in this process? An engagement process is just like a plate of bacon and eggs. If you look at a plate of bacon and eggs, the chicken is just involved. You're looking very good today. But the pig is committed. In the sense that for us to get just the people of Meru, I believe that we must go the committee way, where if we go to the committee, we can interrogate these matters, not only to make a decision whether the governor is standing impeached or otherwise, but to be able to give a proper provision for which we can get a lasting solution for Meru people. And that will come in a more engaged pattern that allows this House to be informed on broad-based issues within Meru, not broad-based issues within this parliament or within this House. So therefore, I support the committee way to go and interrogate and come back to this House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Methu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This particular House, in this matter concerning impeachment, has gone full cycle. We have seen this committee deal with this matter, this House deal with this matter the committee way. We have also seen this House deal with the matter on plenary. And Honorable Speaker, even though I have been a very ardent supporter of committee, because I feel that they are able to look at the matters more closely, just as Senator Sifuna said, this matter is too weighty to be left on the shoulders of 11 members. If anything, Honorable Speaker, even the members that have been proposed to be in that committee, already themselves, they are not even willing. They have said that they don't even support the committee way, including the proposed chairman, Honorable Sigei, Honorable Speaker. But more substantively, Honorable Speaker, there are two matters that I think inform my own decision of not supporting the committee way. Number one, this is not the first time that you are dealing with the matter of the impeachment of the governor of Meru. It is actually the third time, as you have correctly put it. We as senators have already voted on this matter in the past. How certain are we, Honorable Speaker, that the people of Meru or the governor of Meru will get justice if we just have 11 of us, some who have voted on this matter, some who have not voted on this matter, if the people of Meru or even the governor of Meru will be able to get justice. So I feel that the justice will be served to the people of Meru and the governor of Meru if we look at this matter in the whole House. The second matter, Honorable Speaker, and I would actually wish that I get your direction and I get your ruling on this particular matter, because Article 123 that talks about our voting. Each county delegation shall have one vote to be cast on behalf of the county by the head of the delegation in the absence of the head of the delegation by another member of the delegation. Honorable Speaker, looking at the membership of this particular committee, I have tremendous respect to all the members that have been proposed in this committee. One of the members is actually a member of my own committee. I know her ability, I know her capability. But, Honorable Speaker, I am inclined to imagine and think that this power that has been given to the head of delegation and can only be used by a member of that delegation when the head of delegation is not there. If these 5 out of 11 nominated members vote on this particular matter and they negate this particular motion, how will I, as a head of that delegation, get an opportunity to vote on this matter? It is on that matter, Honorable Speaker, that I actually feel that you need to give. I have respect, Honorable Speaker, to our nominated colleagues, Honorable Speaker. They are able, they are willing. But when the matter shall come before this House, when we shall be voting, Honorable Speaker, they will contribute. Honorable Muma has said that they want to contribute on this motion. They will contribute. But in terms of making that decision, it shall be made by the 47 delegations. I will only vote, and a member of my delegation.
Senator Kamau Joseph Githuk.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka nichukue nafasi niweze kuchangia katika mjadala huu ambao zaidi unahusisha sana watu wa kaunti ya Meru. Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka niweze kusimama na kupinga mswada huu na kusema kwamba itakuwa sio mzuri, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuachia watu 11 waweze kuamua hatima ya watu wa Meru, ikizingatiwa kwamba Mheshimiwa Spika, ni mara ya 3 gavana huyu ameletwa hapa katika bunge hili. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa niseme ya kwamba jambo hili linafaa liwachiwe bunge lizima la Senate liweze kuamua. Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, watu 67 wa senators 67 wataweza kuamua jambo hili kwa kina na kuliangalia kwa njia ambayo itaweza kuponya wakazi wa kaunti ya Meru. Mheshimiwa Spika, siku ambayo tutakuwa tukisikiza mambo ambayo Kawira Mwangaza, gavana wa Meru, ameweza kuwekelewa kwamba amefanya, itakuwa ni jambo ambalo litakuwa linaangaziwa ulimwengu mzima na Kenya nzima. Mheshimiwa Spika, itakuwa inaangalia ikingojea kuona uamuzi wa Senate hii na bunge hili litakavyoamua. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naunga mkono ya kwamba bunge hili lizima la Senate liweze kuachiwa jambo hilo la kuamua mambo ya gavana ya Kawira Mwangaza na watu wa Meru waweze kupata haki. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi napinga mswada huo.
Senator Chirange.
Clarification.
Senator Boni, what is your clarification you're seeking?
Mr. Speaker, it is now on record that 4 out of 11 senators on this committee have opposed and therefore technically withdrawn. It would be useful for you to make a ruling on whether in this kind of motion, if this eventuality is reached, does it mean the motion has been lost, or would we still go on and still vote on it, assuming that the motion sails through and 4 senators have already technically withdrawn? What are we voting for? Mr. Speaker, would you guide us that by default, therefore, it means the motion has collapsed?
Honorable Boni, I've listened very carefully to each one of you who've stood to make a contribution to this motion. And I've not had any of the senators who spoke withdrawing. You can give your opinion, but once the House passes the motion, then at that particular time, you may withdraw. Senator Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the champion of plenary proceedings under third schedule of the standing orders, I'm one of the happiest men, Mr. Speaker. Finally, I've been vindicated in many fronts, even including broad-based issues, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree when you look at third schedule, the formation either by plenary of impeachment of a governor at page 216 of the standing orders or by committee, it is almost the same. In fact, when you look word by word, but we are now subsuming ourselves into a quasi-judicial mechanism, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, all of us will assume the role of being a judge. And therefore, it is important so that all of us can learn. Mr. Speaker, under Article 118 of the Constitution, this is what we call public participation or parliamentary proceedings. When we go for plenary, the people of Meru, the governor, the MCS, Kenyans at large will be able to watch the proceedings in an open and transparent manner. I'm not casting aspersions on the proceedings of the committees. It is supposed to be open, Mr. Speaker. It is supposed to be open, and it is open as per Article 118 of the Constitution 2010, Mr. Speaker. But to avoid being salamiwad by the Gen Z, Mr. Speaker, it is better nowadays to put things on the open. Because committees sometimes in the nature, Mr. Speaker, can sometimes escape the attention of the public, Mr. Speaker. I agree, Mr. Speaker, the issues of Meru are very unique, complex, and diverse, Mr. Speaker. We cannot new law under Article 192 on suspension of county of Meru. Meru is working. Some parts of Meru are not working, Mr. Speaker. And I want to remind the deputy party leader of ODM, and I want to advise the Secretary General of ODM to organize an induction at Kenya School of Government, the way Akina Joe and the rest have been done for the last 2 weeks, so that he understands, Mr. Speaker, we don't have a functional IEBC at the moment, Mr. Speaker. The NADCO report, the amendments of IEBC, we are still considering, Mr. Speaker. So the suspension under Article 192, we should not envisage, because we have opportunity to listen, Mr. Speaker, to be able to ventilate through and be able to have a chance. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the committee members who are proposed, we love you, but plenary loved us most. So we wish you well and we'll appoint you. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I oppose the motion.
Senator Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is simply, Mr. Speaker, saying that I support the plenary. Much has been said. I may just want to request, Mr. Speaker, if you can actually recommend the report be captured later by relevant committees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas.
Chairman, devolution.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to oppose the motion that it will be fair for the people of Meru at least to hear each and everybody of this House opinion. And according to Article 961, the Senate is obligated to be able to protect the interests of everybody in Kenya. And I think if you have the entire senators in this House to interrogate and to ask questions, I think there will be more opinions that will be reached, and there will be fair hearing for everybody, both sides of the divide, that is the governor in question, and the members of the assembly, and the public at large. Honorable Speaker, it's a very unfortunate situation. As the chair of the devolution, we have tried our best to intervene in this matter. That members visited there, we created dialogue. Many questions have been promised that this will be the end. That time when we visited, that this will be the end of the day of that matter. But however, it still continues, and the Meru people are not enjoying their rights and whatever the development they have got. In that matter, I wish to support the motion I'm sorry, I want to oppose the motion, and I will propose that we go the plenary way. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Gataya Munda, Tharaka Nithi.
Honorable Speaker, Meru is bleeding. Meru County is bleeding, Honorable Speaker. This is a very sensitive matter. It's no longer about Meru, it's about the whole country. Kenya is watching all of us. You know, as a House, we must be able to prosecute this matter away from the committee, and I strongly oppose the motion that we should not take the committee route. Let's go the plenary way so that maybe people can see openly what we are doing to make sure that Meru is safe. We don't have a repeat of the same again. So I oppose, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Seki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to oppose the motion and suggest the option of going plenary way, Honorable Speaker, so that we give chance to the Meru people and the country, the entire country, to understand and even to follow the proceedings so that we uphold the transparency way, and even for them to understand how and why this governor is coming the third time to this House. Honorable Speaker, I stand to oppose the motion.
Senator Karen Nyamu. Senator Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is not right for members who are trying to invalidate the committee way, yet the third schedule of our standing orders, Mr. Speaker, provide for both the removal by committee and removal by plenary, Mr. Speaker. And so it is not right to say before this House or indicate or imply that one way is more legal or better in any way than the other. And Mr. Speaker, it is not true that this House, the whole House, will not participate in the removal or saving of the governor, Mr. Speaker, because finally when the committee is done with the report, it will be brought here for debate and the final vote by these members, Mr. Speaker. The issue of Meru, I agree, is one that has elicited a lot of interest of the country. It is true, it is the fifth time she's being impeached. It is the third time she's coming before the Senate. But Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we should be given the opportunity to interrogate these issues and get to the bottom of it, Mr. Speaker. However, reading the mood of the House, I want to agree with the majority of the members that we go the plenary way, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Chimera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that I strongly oppose this motion in total, Mr. Speaker, for three fundamental reasons, Mr. Speaker. The first reason is that as the Senate, we are a house of order, we are a house of procedure, and we are a house of precedent, Mr. Speaker. I am. Please, I hope you've reserved my time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as to the question of Meru County, this very House, Mr. Speaker, has set precedent, Mr. Speaker. Every time the governor of Meru has come before us facing such charges, Mr. Speaker, we've always gone plenary. Why do you want, I think for 2 times, Mr. Speaker, we've gone plenary. Why then do you want to go? Let me withdraw that, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable. Proceed.
Let me go to my second point, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
The second point, Mr. Speaker, is on the contribution by Senator Matthew.
What is the point of order, Senator Eddy? Is it point of order or point of information?
Point of order, Mr.
Okay,
Speaker.
proceed.
Just on a statement of fact, 105. Mr. Speaker, the governor of Meru has been brought to this House twice. The first time, Mr. Speaker, actually the senator for Kakamega, Senator Boni Alwale, chaired the committee that actually looked at these issues. And it was the second time that we were in the in a plenary session. So it is wrong to inform the House that there's twice the two times the governor has been here, it has been taken to the committee. So just correct that, Mr. Speaker. On
Senator Chimera.
Well guided, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say Article 123, Mr. Speaker, and my colleague Senator Methu has ably spoken about it. You can't tell us that if Chimera today is a special elected member, can vote for the impeachment of a governor at the committee stage, yet the same member cannot vote for the impeachment of a governor at plenary stage, Mr. Speaker, and still go ahead and nominate 5 members to that committee, Mr. Speaker. I feel this is double standards in way of application of this standing order, Mr. Speaker, and I want to urge this House and the leadership, perhaps there is need to relook at this provision before I probably come with a court order, and I hope I won't go there, Mr. Speaker. But then again, if Article 145, Article 7, Mr. Speaker, allows me to impeach the President, Mr. Speaker, I don't understand why then I can't impeach a governor at plenary, but I'm allowed to impeach the governor or not at committee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, is that this issue is very weighty, Mr. Speaker. The governor for Meru is appearing before us for the 3rd time, Mr. Speaker. And to really urge my colleague senators to be very fair and to do the right thing, Mr. Speaker. Let us allow every senator in this House to have an opportunity to listen to these charges and contribute to this charge, Mr. Speaker, and make a very informed decision, Mr. Speaker, as to the either removal or confirming of those charges, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mandago. Senator Mandago. Senator Mutinda Tabitha. Senator Olekina, how can you raise on a point of order? He has long concluded his remarks. Proceed, Senator Tabitha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do rise, Mr. Speaker, to, of course, oppose this particular motion, Mr. Speaker. And one of the key reasons, Mr. Speaker, as to my opposing is the fact that I've looked at the list of the 11 members, Mr. Speaker, and I just noted, as Senator Chimera has put it correctly, 5 of the members did not have an opportunity to vote last time. 4 of the members voted for the impeachment of the governor, and 2 of the members saved the governor, Mr. Speaker. And actually, for the governor, this committee will not be very fair to her, and the only best fair would be the plenary for the governor, whereby everyone will have an opportunity to listen to the governor.
What is the point of order, Senator Mutinda?
Mr. Speaker, I don't like standing on this point of orders, Mr. Speaker, but it is under 101, Mr. Speaker. It is so wrong for a member of this House to cast aspersions on the integrity of the members of this House, Mr. Speaker. We cannot have names that are proposed in this list, and one senator stands and says that those members will not be fair to the process, to the governor, to the people of Meru, Mr. Speaker. The Senator Mutinda from Nairobi, or I don't know whether it's Nairobi or Kitui now, but Senator Mutinda must be called to order, Mr. Speaker, and she must withdraw that statement and apologize to the whole House for throwing that aspersion to the members of this committee.
Senator Mutinda, that point of order is sustained. You may have to proceed to withdraw that particular averment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw and proceed stating that I believe that the plenary will be able to give our people of Meru more justice, more bigger hearing than the plenary way.
Senator Mutinda, you're still on the edge, and you risk going down the cliff. What you're saying is, are you saying the committee way cannot give justice to the people of Meru? Just proceed and conclude.
Yes, allow me to conclude and say and request that during the plenary session, Mr. Speaker, I would really request that colleagues will be in the House, will be able to maximize the allegations that have been presented before this House so that we can maximally be able to give the Meru people a fair hearing and also a final justice as far as this particular matter is concerned.
Order, Senator Fernandez. May the Senator be heard in silence, please. Proceed, Senator Mtende.
And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I just looked at the former governors and deputy governors who've been gone through impeachment, and most of them, apart from the governor of Embu, Governor Wambora, who appeared before this House twice, it's only Governor Kawera who seems to be making history in this House by appearing for the third time. And so plenary will be the fairest way for the people of Meru to be able to get justice and hope settle this matter once and for all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Recha Morgo Julius. Senator Miraj.
Asante mstahiki Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii, na mimi nasimama kuunga mkono ili kikao hiki kiwe cha maseneta wale 11 waliochaguliwa, kwa sababu wale ambao hawakuweza kuchaguliwa na wananchi wataweza kupata fursa ya kutoa kauli zao, kwa sababu tutakapoingia katika kuweza kukisikiza kikao hichi kwa pamoja, sisi kama wawakilishi ambao tumetumwa na vyama vya kisiasa hatupati fursa ya kupiga kura na sauti yetu huwa haisikiki. Kwa hakika watu wa Meru wamekuwa katika mtihani mkubwa, na ili masuala yao yasikizwe kwa ufasaha zaidi. Nasema hivi kwa sababu niliweza kukaa katika kikao kama hichi cha Siaya, gatuzi ya Siaya. Na kwa kweli tulipokuwa katika kamati ya watu 11, nilipata fursa nyingi sana za kuweza kuuliza maswali kwa undani. Mara ya mwisho tulipokuwa tumeketi hapa kwa pamoja kama kikao cha seneti na maseneta 67, niliweza kupata fursa moja tena ya madakika kidogo kuweza kuuliza swali katika mjadala uliokuwa unaendelea. Kwa hivyo mimi kama seneta wa Mombasa ningependekeza na kumuunga mkono Seneta Sifuna ili tuweze kuachia majukumu haya wale 11 waliochaguliwa ili waweze kuenda kusikiliza kesi ya watu wa Meru na haki ipatikane. Asante.
Take your seat, honorable senators. We'll proceed to put the question. Honorable Senator Omtata Okoit, take your seat, please. Honorable senators, I will now proceed to put the question. That whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, the 8th of August 2024, the Meru County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. And further, whereas by a letter reference MCA/Res/Volume 4/79, dated the 9th of August 2024, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Friday, 9th of August 2024, the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by the County Assembly, and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81B of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81B, the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising the following senators. 1, Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP. 2, Senator Abdul Haji, MP. 3, Senator Wahome Wamatinga, MP. Senator David Wafula, MP. Senator Gloria Oroba, MP. Senator Karen Nyamu, MP. Senator Boy Issa Juma, MP, Senator Eddie Okech, MP, Senator Shakila Abdallah, MP, Senator Bet Montet, MP, and Senator Beatrice Akinyi, MP, to investigate the proposed removal from office of the Governor of Meru County, and pursuant to Standing Order 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Order, honorable senators, order. Order, order, order. Senator Mundegi, take your seat. Senator Fernandi, the motion is lost. What more do you want from that? No. Now, honorable senators, as you may have noticed, the majority leader moved the motion at order number 8 on today's order paper for the establishment of a special committee to investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. The motion has been negatived. Honorable Senators, as I communicated earlier by way of a message on the resolution of the Meru County Assembly made on Thursday, 8th of August 2024, for the removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County, Section 33(3)A of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81B of the Senate provide that the Senate may, by resolution, appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter or investigate the matter in plenary. The motion having been negatived, the route of a special committee is abandoned, and that now implies that the Senate will investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County, in plenary, pursuant to Section 33(3)A of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81B(2). Honorable Senators, at its meeting held today, Wednesday the 14th of August 2024, the Senate Business Committee considered the provisional dates for this investigation in the event that the matter was to be investigated in plenary. In line with the schedule of activities for impeachment, hearing, and plenary, I hereby give you the following directions. 1. The clerk to issue invitations to appear to the parties on Wednesday, 14th of August 2024. So the notice will be issued today. The parties to file their responses with the office of the clerk of the Senate by Saturday, the 17th of August, 2024, by 5 p.m. 3, the clerk to circulate documents received from the parties, including the plenary hearing program, to all honorable senators by close of business on Sunday, the 18th of August, 2024, by 5 p.m. 4, the Senate shall investigate the matter in plenary on Monday, the 19th of August, and on Tuesday, the 20th of August, 2024. The Senate is accordingly guided. I thank you, honorable senators. Yes, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, because of the respect that we accord members every time they speak, I have been listening to the contributions, and I have had 2 nominated senators who have raised a point of common sense. Common sense that if nominated senators cannot vote in a delegation, and since it requires a delegation to vote to make a decision on removal of a governor, Mr. Speaker, the point of common sense that I've raised is that, therefore, we have been carrying out an illegality for them to have been participating in committee decisions. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like you to clarify either now or later substantially so that it be clear that for that reason, nominated senators cannot sit on a special committee of impeachment because they have no vote. Clarify.
Senator Fernandez.
Mr. Speaker, further on when you reside or retreat to your chamber, tied up with the Senator Boni, Mr. Speaker, I would like to invite your invitation on Article 123 on decision of the Senate, an article further on the removal of a president as provided for under Article 145, I think 7, where it does not substantively refer to the delegations. So we need, Mr. Speaker, your interpretation, what it means, since the nominated senators cannot participate in impeachment of governor because it is by division of delegations as per Article 123, what happens in future if a president has to be impeached, yet it says members of the Senate. So, Mr. Speaker, in your retreating into your chambers and writing a Solomonic ruling, we would seek the interpretation purposely and maybe guide us that in future, should the head of delegations of those units be consulted before both the minority and majority make certain decisions, so that we are crystal clear, so that we don't have to shoot in the dark, Mr. Speaker. I hope you will guide us appropriately. I thank you.
Honorable Senators, I will render my considered ruling on that matter upon resumption. For now, be upstanding. Honorable Senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 3rd of September 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.
On the issue of the new financing mechanism in our universities, the Honorable Meli has seen the Speaker this afternoon and expressed a request that there is an emergency, to which I agreed, and he's not here. I want to ask you if you are available for this particular issue alone, since you are going to recess tomorrow. If you are available, I can constitute and convene a Kamkunji on Tuesday morning to discuss this issue before you proceed on your recess. If you are not available, I don't have to. Is it in order? Let me see the level of interest. Those who want to come Kamkunji on Tuesday morning, be upstanding so that I see the numbers. Okay. Now, okay, take your seats. Not tomorrow morning, no. Honorable Meli will not be there, and he says he has a very comprehensive response and clarity to all the issues, including the issues that I directed him to go and check with the ministry. So I invite you, all of you, and it will be posted on your wall, to attend a Kamkunji in this chamber on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, so that we can have explanations. Those of you who have additional questions to ask on that issue, come so that it can be clarified as clearly as it can be. Next order. We now go back to order number 7.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, we'll now go back to order number 7 and thank you for the tremendous positive debate and industry on order number 11.
Yes, Honorable David Ucheng.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I wish to request for a statement regarding the abductions and extrajudicial killings in the country, especially during the just concluded Gen Z demonstrations. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the ongoing abductions and extrajudicial killings allegedly by police officers. Honorable members, Article 37 of the Constitution provides that every citizen has the right to assemble and demonstrate peacefully. Notably, when the current government came into office, there was a commitment to adhere to the Constitution and the rule of law. Unfortunately, the country continues to witness cases of abductions, some in broad daylight, and extrajudicial killings by police officers, especially during demonstrations against corruption and the high cost of living. It is worrying, Mr. Speaker, that while some of these abductions have been found alive, others have been murdered and their bodies dumped in swamps, dump sites, and mortuaries across the country. Additionally, whereas police officers are required to identify themselves, officers in civilian clothes have, in the recent past, failed to identify themselves while targeting peaceful protesters and abducting citizens across the country. This has caused distress to the families and the next of kin of those affected. Honorable Speaker, as you may be aware, this afternoon, the court has made a decision that the police officers going out on the demonstrations must show their faces and their badges. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Roman 1, a detailed report on the number of people arrested during the demonstrations in June, July, and August 2024, and the offices the said persons offenses that the said persons were charged with. Number 2, a list of the names of those who lost their lives during these demonstrations across the country. And 3, a tabulation of the number of unaccounted for bodies in each public mortuary across the country. And finally, Mr. Speaker, a report on the number of persons reported missing across the country as per the police records. Speaker, I do thank you.
Thank you, Honorable David Ucheng. The Chair, Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Affairs, how long do you want to take to respond to this question?
Honorable Speaker, maybe on this one I need your indulgence, considering that we will be going for recess tomorrow. So maybe probably immediately when we resume. Unless you direct otherwise.
Honorable Ucheng, fine with that?
Honorable Speaker, I know this is not a small matter. And I would wish that the chairperson takes their time as a committee to deal with this matter conclusively. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Chair, you will give your response latest the second week from recess. Latest the second week, the last Thursday of the second week, upon the House returning from recess.
Reason even should maybe a response from the ministry comes earlier than that.
Yes.
Maybe behind tabling when we resume, I can probably still share with the concerned members.
Certainly, obviously acceptable to Honorable Cheng. Yes, the matter that was raised by Honorable Naisula Lesuda MP is what the substantive speaker addressed just before he left the speaker's seat. So, do we have the response of Honorable Innocent Mumanyi? The response by the Chair, Transport, the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. Honorable Jared Okello, what is the matter? What is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I really concur with our brother Honorable Chien that we need a comprehensive statement on the continued abductions and killings, wanton killings by the police, Honorable Speaker. Now, we are proceeding on recess tomorrow. So we understand that the responses can only come in about a month plus, Honorable Speaker. But in the interim, if we don't get an undertaking from government that this action will stop, then I'm afraid that by the time we come here to get the responses, we shall have lost more innocent Kenyans, Honorable Speaker. And this is stemming from Article 37 of our Constitution that gives us the latitude to picket, demonstrate, and file petitions to public authorities at will. But somebody wants to gag us so that we don't exercise our democratic rights, Honorable Speaker. Can we have an undertaking that before we get the responses from the government that this is going to stop in the interim, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, Honorable Lilian Gogo.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I think this is a sensitive matter that has been raised by Honorable Ochieng. And other than the need to have a comprehensive report, Honorable Speaker, it would really be very important that we have a situation where police don't hide their faces, they don't go in they don't go without their uniform, like the police who was running after one Samuel something. I mean, they should identify themselves. They should have we should, as the public, we should be able to identify that this is a police officer and this is not a police officer, because thugs also go there. So it would be important that in part of the comprehensive report, we also get a report on the identification of the police officers and also the persons who also just go taking people who are picketing. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
As the chair of the Committee on Administration and Internal Affairs has noted those concerns, they'll be dealt with within the remit of what Honorable Ochieng asked. And I wanted to say that we had, that matter is spent. I'd called the chair, Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, to respond to the matter that was raised by the Honorable Innocent Mumanyi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's really surprised that you are allowing debate on that matter, and you had already given direction on when the matter will be responded to. But I'm up to respond to the statement requested by Honorable Mumanyi, and I can see he is in the House. Honorable Speaker, I will not read the question. If you allow me, I'll go straight to the response. Honorable Speaker, on Wednesday, On Wednesday, 12th June 2024, the member for Bobasi constituency, the Honorable Innocent Momanyi MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the reconstruction of a collapsed bridge in Nyamache Town, Bobasi constituency. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the Honorable Momanyi sought to, among other things, establish why KERA has taken inordinately long to reconstruct the bridge in Nyamache Town since its destruction by flood was reported in May 2023. Request the KERA headquarters in Nairobi to release the emergency funds totaling to 19 million for the immediate reconstruction of the damaged bridge. The measures put in place for the reconstruction of the said bridge. Honorable Speaker, the committee met the PS roads on 30th July 2024, and the response given is as follows.
Is Honorable Innocent Momanyi in the house?
Yes, he is.
Honorable Innocent Momanyi is not in the house. Chair, Transport and Infrastructure members ought to be sufficiently interested in the matters they raise on behalf of the people of Kenya they represent.
Thank you. There is a member.
Because he is not there, I want to direct that you table that response here and get a way of giving him a copy of it so that we can transact other business.
Okay, I'm
just table it. It lessens your burden.
Yes,
so table it so that he can get a copy, and then you can also get a way of getting him either to get the response from the parliamentary officers and to take it up from there. Chair, Transport and Infrastructure, you will now respond to the question that was raised by Honorable Stephen Mule, MP.
I also can't find him here, Chair.
Is Honorable Stephen Mule there? Honorable Stephen Mule also is not within the House. You will also table that response for them to access us and when they will be back to the House. Respond to the question raised, Chair, by the Honorable Tindi Mwale. Is Honorable Tindi Mwale in the House? Tindi Mwale is the Vice Chair of the Public Accounts Committee. Take your seat. It is your question being responded to.
Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 2nd May 2024, the member for Butere, Honorable Tindi Mwale, MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the potential infringement of the right to privacy by the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the Honorable Mwale sought to, among other things, establish the measures being taken to address the issue of registered organizations being unable to create or activate independent NTSA accounts to avoid companies only having the options of linking their data to unauthorized accounts. B, steps that have been taken to protect citizens whose accounts are linked to an organization's transactions, given the company's transaction receipts display authorized persons' details instead of the company's details, such as the name, telephone number, email address, and identity card or identity number. And C, the measures that have been established to ensure that the accounts abusers with the limited rights on transactions of major accounts do not intrude into the privacy of the authorized person's personal data available on its citizen platform. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport during a meeting held on 30th July 2024, which I now wish to make. 1, regarding the measures being taken to address the issue of registered organizations being unable to create or achieve independent NTSA accounts. 2, avoid companies only having the option of linking their data to an unauthorized account. The ministry submitted that NTSA is not considering providing independent organizations accounts since it creates cybersecurity issues and lacks accountability. It is also not possible to know who is controlling these generic accounts at any time. Number 2, regarding the steps that have been taken to protect citizens whose accounts are linked to an organization's transactions, given that the company's transaction receipts display authorized persons' details instead of the company's details, such as name, telephone number, email address, ID, and the ministry made an assurance that the citizens whose accounts access organizations' accounts are secure and independent of any other user accessing the same accounts. The individual natural account cannot be seen by any other individual unless they have access to their username, password, and phone. The account management within the eCitizen single sign-in allows individuals to only see the details of their accounts and now not that of other users. 3, regarding the measures that have been established to ensure that the account sub-users with limited rights on transactions of major accounts do not intrude into the privacy of the authorized person's personal data available on eCitizen platform, the ministry submitted that the sub-user accounts are used in. The users are role-based, and all they can access are the roles they perform. They cannot access the other individual person's accounts. This has always been the case, even when NTSA had generic and independent accounts for organizations. No user can access other user accounts or view each other's accounts profile details. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chair. In respect of the others, just table them so that they can easily, the members who are not in the House can easily access them. Next order. Honorable Tindi, are you satisfied by the response?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I'm satisfied. I'm only waiting for you to give me the chance to move the next order. I'm the Vice Chairman of Public Accounts Committee.
So you are satisfied by the response?
Yes, from
coming from the relevant ministry through the chair?
Yes, I'm satisfied.
So, Chair, you are released. You've satisfied all members. So, next order now.
Order number 12, motion, appointment of a firm to provide external audit services to the Office of the Auditor General.
Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee to move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the procurement of external audit service for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025. That pursuant to provisions of Article 2264 of the Constitution, the committee recommends that the National Assembly appoints, Assembly approves the appointments.
Chair, by way of properly moving, please beg to move the motion as per the order paper, word for word if possible. Then you can make contributions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 4th August 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 2264 of the Constitution and Section 43 of the Public Audit Act, Cap 412B, appoints MS PKF Kenya LLP for purpose of providing external audit services to the Office of the Auditor General, OAG, with respect to Roman 1, the accounts of the Office of the Auditor General for the period 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025. And Roman 2, the financial statements for the staff mortgage and car loan scheme for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to provision of Article 2264 of the Constitution, the National Assembly is required to appoint a professionally qualified accountant to audit the Office of the Auditor General. This is towards ensuring that the office itself, being the person of accountability, is in itself in compliance with the constitutional principle of accountability, prudence, financial management, and value to Kenyan taxpayers. The Office of the Auditor General is a key cog in the accountability cycle that culminates with the audit of sums appropriated by the National Assembly to all government agencies, including itself. Kenyan taxpayers expect prudent use of the resources towards service delivery. Parliament is a key consumer to reports of the Auditor General, including annual audit reports, special audit reports, and performance audits, which ultimately should guide budgetary provisions to all agencies. In these reports, Mr. Speaker, that is the fact occupy much of the time of audit committees. Mr. Speaker, the Public Accounts Committee has been on the forefront of advocating for increased budgetary allocations to the Office of the Auditor General. It has been the desire of the committee and indeed the National Assembly to have a fully capacitated audit office to keep up with the pace of the budgetary growth of our annual estimates. Indeed, the Auditor General will admit that despite more funding requirements, the office has seen tremendous growth in capacity over the years. For instance, in the last 5 years, the office had annual allocation of 5.88 billion in 2019-2020 financial year to the current Kenyan shillings 8.12 billion in the prevailing financial year 2024-2025, which has enabled the office fulfill its mandate enshrined under Article 229 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, it has been evident that lately the office has indeed used these resources to churn out more reports. The Public Accounts Committee have devised methods to consume all these reports and derive value for taxpayers' money. It is not lost on the committee that even as the Office of the Auditor General is independent, ultimately accountability and oversight rests with the people's representatives, Parliament. It is against this backdrop that we have continued to engage the office towards improving pace and quality of audits. Mr. Speaker, from the foregoing and in compliance with provisions of Article 2264 of the Constitution, the committee received a recommendation of award to tender of the said services from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. The committee observed the progress made on the procurement of external audit services. The committee further observed that an offer had been made to MSPKF Kenya Limited Liability Partnership LLP, subject to approval by the National Assembly pursuant to Article 2264 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I want the House to note that the genesis of this report is based on Article 2264, which gives the National Assembly the right and mandate to appoint a qualified accountant firm to monitor the operations and functions of the Office of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, the committee, having satisfied itself with the due process was followed, resolved to recommend to the National Assembly the approval of the award of PKF Kenya Limited Liability Partnership LLP. I will in brief demonstrate to this honorable House the process that culminated in the award of the aforementioned firm. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of Article 2264 of the Constitution, the National Assembly tendered through request for proposal for provision of external audit services to the Office of the Auditor General. The open tender was advertised on 7th of June 2024 in 4 daily newspapers, our parliamentary website, and the public procurement information portal. Mr. Speaker, I want the House to note that the advertisement was done in accordance with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015 and was in accordance of Section 96. Mr. Speaker, the advertisement provided the terms of reference of the successful firm as follows. A, conducting independent audit of the organization's activities or operations in line with the international standards on accounting and international financial reporting standards and guidance by Public Sector Accounting Standards Board. B, expressing of opinion on whether the financial statements are prepared in all material aspects in accordance with applicable financial reporting standards and frameworks, whether the organization has maintained proper books of accounts, and whether the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the Office of the Auditor General. Reviewing and elevating the organization's internal control and risk management system, and advising management and board in adequacy/effectiveness of the system and proposal of this improvement. Reviewing adequacy of the organization information system and infrastructure. Providing any other value addition services consistent with the audit of the organization. The tender submission and opening date was on 18th of June 2024 at 11 a.m. The tender required bidders to submit separate technical and financial bids. A tender opening committee was formed by the by the audit accounting officer on 13th June 2024 pursuant to Section 78 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 to oversee the tender opening process. The following two firms responded by submitting their bids. Bid number 1 was the firm of PKF Kenya LLP. Bid number 2 was Nelson and Francis LLP. An ad hoc evaluation committee was appointed by the accounting officer on 13th June 2024 pursuant to Section 46 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 to evaluate the bids submitted by the two firms. The evaluation committee concluded the evaluation exercise on 3rd July 2024 and submitted an evaluation report to the head of the procurement function as per the provision of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, paying respect to Section 46. During evaluation, Nelson and Francis LLP was disqualified at the preliminary and mandatory evaluation stage for reasons specified in our report, including tax non-compliance. As you know, Mr. Speaker, tax compliance is a mandatory requirement in any procurement in this republic. PKF Kenya Limited met all the preliminary and mandatory and therefore proceeded to the technical second stage of the evaluation, which it scored an average of 80%, which was above 75%. This is when you combine the financial plus technical scores. It scored 75%, which was 80%, which was above 75%. Further, procurement procedures as elaborated in the report ended in award to the firm at a tender cost of Kenya shillings 25,565,235 Kenyan shillings. A notification of intention to enter into a contract was issued to the firm subject to approval of the House. It is this approval that this committee seeks from this honorable House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, during interrogation of the process by the committee, it emerged that it has been usual for very few firms to bid for the bid, and this time was no exception. With only 2 bidding. The apparent reason for this state of affairs has been that most of these independent audit firms shy away from professional distance, having been engaged by the Office of the Auditor General in other outsourced engagements. The committee's decision was, however, constrained with this fact, as the procurement laws were all adhered to. Mr. Speaker, the firm has previously been engaged by the National Assembly, that's the firm of PKF, and we are in fact waiting for its report for the preceding years. And the committee will submit this report to this House. The committee, we commit to provide thorough oversight to this important office towards improving its operational efficiency and obtain value for money for every coin appropriated by this House. Mr. Speaker, this report is basically straightforward and a brief one, and I therefore wish to request the House to adopt our report and approve award of the audit services to PKF Kenya Limited. Mr. Speaker, in a nutshell, just to conclude before I request my colleague, Honorable Undo, to second, the genesis of this report is Article 2264 of the Constitution, which gives the powers to the National Assembly to appoint a qualified accounting firm, and this firm is going to audit the operations and efficiency of the Office of the Auditor General. It is that basis that the Chief Accounting Officer of the National Assembly, who is the Clerk of the National Assembly, conducted the Public Accounts Committee to request for Public Accounts Committee to go through the process and request the House through this report to approve PKF Kenya LLP Partnership as the accounting firm which will audit the Office of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, as you know, for us to have effective use of our taxpayers' money, we need to have a strong and robust, efficient accounting firm. This accounting firm is the Office of the Auditor General. We appreciate the report and the work of the Office of the Auditor General, but we want to have an independent firm that is going to help this House and Kenyans in general to audit the operations of the Office of the Auditor General. And that's why I'm pleading with the House to accept this report and accept that the PKF Kenya LLP begins its work of auditing the operations and efficiency of the Office of the Auditor General. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I've heard and seen members who have congratulated His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for appointments in the broad-based government. I want to take this opportunity as the Vice Chairman of Public Accounts Committee to congratulate and appreciate the President for nominating our Chairman, the Honorable John Mbadi. By the President appointing Honorable John Mbadi, he ascertained that this committee, the Public Accounts Committee, has got leaders and members who are capable and brilliant to lead this country even at the higher echelons of power, including the Ministry of Treasury. And I want to assure this House that this committee is committed and efficient, and this report has been evaluated well with the committee, and I believe that if we pass this report, we will make sure that the operations at the Office of the Auditor General are well, effective, transparent, and will benefit Kenyans in general. I want to stop there, Honorable Speaker, and request my colleague, a member of the committee, Honorable Oundo, the MP for Funyula, to second the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chair, Public Accounts Committee. The Honorable Wilberforce Oundo, second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to second the motion by the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya in its report proposing the appointment of an audit firm to audit the auditor. Honorable Speaker, this House, by dint of the Constitution of Kenya, appropriates funds to the Office of Auditor General as required under the Constitution in order to enable them undertake the works or assignment mandated to them under the Constitution and the relevant Act of Parliament. Concomitantly, Honorable Speaker, the House must therefore audit or oversight the funds that have been appropriated to confirm and satisfy themselves that they have indeed utilized those funds as provided for under the Constitution, any written law, or any operational procedures or manuals to ensure there is value for money and there is efficiency. Honorable Speaker, we have always said power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you give those Auditor General funds, and there is no hint at all in law that you have to check whether they have used those funds prudently, then obviously human nature, by its very nature, there will be a tendency to misuse and misappropriate those funds. And that's why the drafters of the Constitution, their wisdom, said the Auditor General must also be audited. Of course, I can just look at it, the irony. The Auditor General catches the thief. I don't know whom do you send to catch the thief. Do you also send to catch the thief? But Honorable Speaker, I want to urge the firm, PKF, I hope I've pronounced rightly, because Honorable my gadgets the other side, I'm here. I hope I pronounced correctly, I picked it correctly. They ought to go to the Office of the Auditor General and apply the strict professional standards everybody expects them to apply. And as it was reported when we were in the committee, the clerk of the National Assembly clearly admitted they are having challenges in getting as many audit firms as possible participate in the tendering process to find an auditor of the Office of Auditor General. The reason is so simple. By the very large volume of work the Office of Auditor General has, occasionally we are told outsources some of their work to audit firms in this country. So obviously, there is conflict of interest, and they find this other side is more frequent and probably has got more pay than waiting to audit the Office of the Auditor General. Probably in the fullness of time, we might have to find separate mechanisms, Honorable Speaker, even if it means going beyond the boundaries and the borders of Kenya. So the tendering process, the procurement process can have some meaning. Honorable Speaker, having only 2 firms participating, and one by design, and or by coincidence, I do not know which word to use, completely is knocked off at the technical evaluation stage. Honorable Speaker, I cannot just imagine an audit firm to the class and standard of Nelson, a PLP, can present a forged tax compliance certificate. Was it by convenience? Was it by people complicity? So that we have a straight line process to the end for PKF? How reckless can they be? Yet, Honorable Speaker, the audit firms listed at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Is the financial sector in this country safe or not? That's why, Honorable Speaker, we need to relook at the architecture, because the way then things are, we are going to have a monopoly. And General Honorable Speaker, I was in the corporate world before I transited to the academia. There was a basic rule. No audit firm should audit one company for 3 consecutive financial years. The reason we continuously change is to ensure there's objectivity, there is fairness, there is an ability to pick out hidden accounting malady in any accounting records. Honorable Speaker, in the last financial year, we gave PKF to audit the Office of the Auditor General for 3 consecutive financial years. This particular tender, they're going to audit for 2 financial years. So in totality, they would have audited for 5 financial years, which is against basic corporate governance, corporate governance structures in this country and all over the world. So I call upon this parliament in its wisdom, or the office of the clerk, that the next time they tender, with now knowing that very few Kenyan firms will wish to participate, can we make it an East African tender so that we can get an audit firm in Uganda, Tanzania, even Somalia, so that now we have a fair and competitive tendering process. Second, Honorable Speaker, as a matter for you also to note, is now auditing process, Honorable Speaker, has gone beyond looking at the profit and loss account, has gone beyond only preparing the balance sheet. Honorable Speaker, auditing has gone out the way to look at the systems, operational system, standing operation procedure. Is the Office of the Auditor General adequately resourced to undertake their tasks? Very many cases, Honorable Speaker, They are not. So we hope their report will inform this particular parliament or any subsequent parliament to ensure the Office of Auditor General is adequately funded, is adequately resourced to have manpower with technical ability and relevant experience to audit the very many government entities that are now being forced to audit. Honorable Speaker, until the other year, they now have to audit primary schools, secondary schools, and other educational institutions. Honorable Speaker, you know me and you, how many those are, and how badly their books of account are maintained. We need to relook at it. Second, Honorable Speaker, and this is we must tell each other in this country without fear of sugarcoating any particular matter. The Office of Auditor General is populated by the typical Kenyan, a Kenyan who is driven by typical personal gains instead of public good. You talk all over, Honorable Speaker, you sit and talk to these accounting officers. They have very harrowing experiences with the auditors sent to audit various government entities. And this we have told and continuously said. The Office of Auditor General also needs to be audited in terms of personal integrity and professionalism in the discharge of their work. That's why, Honorable Speaker, many of the reports produced by the Office of Auditor General, whenever they're subject to a test in any particular court of law, they fail short. They fall short. And that's why you don't get as many convictions arising from the report of the Auditor General. It is time, Honorable Speaker, we must, as a country, relook at it, because the alternative is for us to go to continuously perpetuate corruption and use the Office of the Auditor General to cover corruption. Honorable Speaker, I just wish PKF will be bold enough, other than just auditing the books of account, to go outside there in the field and ask those entities who are audited by those Auditor General, so that they can share with them the experience of being audited by those Auditor General, so that we can come to fore. We say exactly what is happening, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, many of us are members of Parliament here. When they come to audit CDF accounts, many times they deliberately write very adverse reports. And before even those reports are admitted here in Parliament, Honorable Speaker, they sneak those reports to the media, and the media now splashes. Honorable so-and-so has eaten bursary money. As if a member of Parliament is an accounting officer, he has to go to every single school asking for receipt to confirm the bursary money has been sent. That's why we are asking there must be infused adequate professionalism in the Office of the Auditor General, so that Kenyans can get value for money. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I also want to tell the Office of the Auditor General, there are no sacred cows in this country. There are no stones that are not capable of being turned. They must go outside there and pick out the rot that is starting at the county governments, as well as the national government, and all over. We can save this country a lot of money. We do not have to borrow, Honorable Speaker. It's the Office of the Auditor General that's the backbone that can save this country. Let them go out and pick out. Honorable Speaker, how do you explain, Honorable Speaker, a cabinet secretary can afford to buy a house of 215 million on a salary of less than a million? How is that possible? And yet that person is never dragged to any court of law, and even if they are dragged to court of law, the evidence is so weak, cannot sustain a conviction. Honorable Speaker, I support.
The Honorable Tindi Mwale and the Honorable Dr. Wilberforce Oundo confirmed to us that. Did you second?
For record purposes, I second.
Yes, sir. Yes, so I was saying your contributions in moving this particular motion confirmed to us that the institutions of Parliament will always outlive whoever the member is in them. We don't feel the Honorable John Badi It's now not the chair of Public Accounts Committee. Congratulations. Honorable members, let me now propose this question so that the House may debate. And I propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th August 2024, pursuant to the provisions of Article 226, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution, Section 43 of the Public Audit Act, Cap 412B, appoints Messrs. PKF Kenya LLP for purposes of providing external audit services to the Office of the Auditor General with respect to 1. The accounts of the Office of the Auditor General for the period 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025, and 2. The financial statements for the staff mortgage and car loan scheme of the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025. The Honorable John Waweru.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I'm also very pleasantly surprised to have gotten the pole position to be the first one to speak on this one. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to just commend the format in which this report has been moved. The mover has done a beautiful job. The man supporting this, Dr. Oundo, we all know the quality of debate that Dr. Oundo brings to this House, has also supported and seconded this report very ably, informed the House and informed even on the processes that they have taken to get us to where we are. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this report. I stand to support this report because I do believe that this committee has ably applied itself before they presented this report to the House. And allow me at this juncture, Mr. Speaker, to also take this opportunity to congratulate the Honorable John Bandi, a long-serving member of this House who was also chairing this committee, and I'm sure he was part of this process, and I need to congratulate him for his new appointment at Treasury as the minister in charge of the affairs there. Mr. Speaker, the Public Accounts Committee has laid before us a very important report. And I would like to take some time to just appreciate the process that they undertook as provided for by the Constitution. This is Article 226, Sub-Article 4, and also the laws as provided for in the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, which has provided for the process that has been well spoken to by Honorable Tindi Mwale when he was moving this report. Mr. Speaker, these are the things I'd like to say about this procurement of an external auditor who is needed to come to audit the accounts of the Office of the Auditor General, who is also required to check into the financial statements for the staff mortgage and the car loan scheme at the Office of the Auditor General, and who is required to basically audit the auditor. Mr. Speaker, if we are satisfied that the process that was undertaken delivered us the right people, who are the PKF, then we must task them to do the work that they are required to do. Mr. Speaker, if it is so, as has been reported by Dr. Oundo, that the process of procurement is becoming either inefficient or not delivering the right people, then, Mr. Speaker, I think it is at this point that this House must say that the process of the procurement of an external auditor for the Office of the Auditor General needs to be rechecked. The issues that have been raised here are critical, Mr. Speaker, that it cannot be coincidence or by design that the people who were up against PKF found themselves falling into some very technical issues which are bordering even on matters of integrity. The presentation of fake certificates before a vetting entity for an auditor should be a matter that should raise the eyebrows of this House, Mr. Speaker. As it has been said, this auditor is required to audit the auditor who audits other auditors who audit the books in this republic to ensure that there is prudent use of public finances in this country. So if there is a blemish on the process which was undertaken, then we know that the product is only as good as the process. So if the matter of the procurement is brought to disrepute, then even the working of that entity shall be brought to disrepute. However, if the committee is satisfied that PKF, according to the laws and the constitution of this country, should be the audit firm auditing the Auditor General's office, then so be it. As per the report presented here, the committee is satisfied. So we have no other reason for us not to be satisfied. Now, when we task them to do the job, Mr. Speaker, we pray that the audits that are going to be done are going to be audits that are independent, but more so audits that can stand up to the acceptable international standards of auditing, Mr. Speaker. And if they could observe this, then we shall be able to see a number of things. And I do not want to preempt their work. If they apply themselves properly on this job, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure that in their findings, they shall find that the Office of the Auditor General, as currently constituted, is not able to undertake all the work that it is tasked to do. This is an office that is a central office, probably somewhere here in Nairobi, that is required not only to audit national books, but also audit the counties, audit the ministries, audit the agencies, audit the departments. They are the same people who we see in our constituencies auditing our national government constituency development funds, Mr. Speaker. As currently constituted, I can feel the strain that is in this office. So if these auditors are going to do their work right, they shall audit and they shall find that as currently constituted, the Office of the Auditor General is inefficiently composed to undertake the job that they're required to do. Mr. Speaker, if they apply themselves to this work, they're required, as Dr. Undo said, to go beyond just auditing the numbers and the bottom lines and balancing out the books. An audit today requires for a system audit. It also, I dare say, requires for a welfare audit, Mr. Speaker. The auditing of the welfare and the terms of individuals working in this office. Mr. Speaker, on one occasion, I happened to sit next to the former Auditor General, a very esteemed Kenyan, Mr. Ouko, on a flight from Mombasa coming back to Nairobi. Mr. Speaker, I was shocked with what I heard. I came to learn that anybody serving in the Office of the Auditor General enjoys no perks and enjoys no other terms after their retirement, Mr. Speaker. A person sitting in such an esteemed office is not sure of how they shall pay their hospital bills when they leave office. They are not sure of how they shall take care of their welfare when they leave office. Such a critical office. Mr. Speaker, tell me, why would such an individual not be tempted to get into matters that would bring integrity questions if they know that they are sitting in such a powerful office, but they shall retire to a retirement that has no perks and they do not enjoy any welfare terms after they retire office? I'm sure if PKF apply themselves onto the audit of the welfare and terms of the people holding this office, they shall find that this country is doing a great disservice for not offering the right welfare and the right terms for holders of such an important office when they retire. Mr. Speaker, if this audit firm applies itself accordingly, they shall find that within their rank and file, there are auditors who have bad manners, Mr. Speaker. Some who will go and bully the people who are being audited, Mr. Speaker. And some of them are being bullied for no other reason other than rent seeking, Mr. Speaker. I shall not want to talk beyond that about that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, if the PKF applies itself on the job, they shall find that there is work to be done in the counties, Mr. Speaker. The counties in this country are such a shame when it comes to public procurement. And Mr. Speaker, because I see my time is running out, allow me to add this final point, that just as the Office of the Auditor General recognizes that it requires external experts to undertake its job, the government of Kenya also needs to wake up to the reality that they need experts to come and support them in areas where they have weaknesses. One of the biggest areas of weaknesses in this government is the area of communications, Mr. Speaker. The Kenya government ought to do what the Office of the Auditor General is doing by bringing in external professionals to come and assist them in doing the job. The government of Kenya needs to professionalize its communication, just as we are seeing the Auditor General relying on professionals to undertake their job. Mr. Speaker, the communication in government requires such professionalization so that
Safaricom, proud sponsor of Team Kenya at the Olympics.
What a run! What a finish! It's the last athletics gold! It couldn't be this dramatic, could it? Bronze in the 5,000, bronze in the 10,000. She said she was going to do the Zatopek. Nobody believed it was possible. And she's pulling away from the world record holder. This is a performance that will never be forgotten. Sifan Hassan, in her own inimitable style, does something incredible. 2 bronze medals on the track, but it's all gold on the road. Brilliant from Hassan. The world record holder is stunned in silver, and Helena Beery follows up 2 silvers on the track with a bronze in the marathon. Lokedi is 4th.
Safaricom, proud sponsor of Team Kenya at the Olympics.
is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Fix the rise on what one thinks when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Fix my eyes on what one thinks while beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Fix the rise on what one thinks when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Yeah, gotta decide how we're gonna feel it right. Trying to find out. Gotta know that life is fragile. Gotta know, but gotta go. Standing all inside a temple. Oh God, I didn't wanna go find the one who understands why we wait for pain to change us. So let me know that life is fragile. It's like a turning sand, making way to the ocean, almost meeting the end because the birds are in motion. What if I told you the sun was coming closer? What if heat stroke? Such a supernova. Would you hold me close? Right there on my shoulder. It never feels like the summer's really over. It's when it starts to move. No, I can't explain. And then the walls begin to move as it bursts into flames. And I recall the way I felt. No, I'll never be the same. No, I wouldn't be the same. Summer's coming closer. What if heat stroke? Such a supernova. Would you hold me close? Right there on my shoulder. It never feels like the summer's really over. 'Cause when it starts to move around, no, I can't ignore. In the end, it's hard to tell what we're all fighting for. Shall we sit here by ourselves and let go? Come on, take a ride with me. Like the 808s beating in the trunk in Atlanta, it was tough. It was kinda hard for me. Crawling through the mud, I couldn't find love, then we came up. Look at what we are, baby. Standing through the storm, still shining like a diamond in the rough. Still shining, and that's hard. If you ever lost someone that you love, through the pain, gotta show and give them light. Still family if you're wrong or you're right. No matter we together, it's not something that you wanna do. It's just something you're going through. Tough like the snow from the pale, won't let it blue collar red dirt attitude. Like a 38 made out of brass. Tough like stuff in my grandpa's glass. Last woman did what it does. She raised the people up above. Cold like a diamond.